From Brian Ellison's yard.
Yeah, he's certainly a bigger price than I thought he would be. I thought he would be sort of pushing for sort of second favourite. Actually, it was an eye-catching return at Beverley in a race that's worked out reasonably well. That was under hold-up tactics.
And he can make it as well.
Yes, he can, absolutely. He's entitled to come on for that run. It was his first for the thick end of 11 months. I think 7 furlongs on a flat track. Wonder what kind of tactics they'll take on here. It might be that they ride him a bit handier. There are other front runners in the race, the likes of next Kermit possibly as well. And he's got first time cheek pieces. I think that was last time he had the cheek pieces on. Carried his head a little bit awkwardly under pressure. I think they've reached for the headgear now. Not surprised at that. But as you said, around 15 to 2, 8 to 1, Gordon. He's a much bigger price than you thought he would be.
Right, we've got about 3 or 4 left to come forward then. I love these 7 furlong races, Richard, at Musselburgh. 7 furlongs round Musselburgh. Really nippy types you need to get round that bend, which comes up pretty quick.
Yeah, and with the ground on the far side as well, if they go a good gallop, you just add a bit of tactical speed, get yourself in and out of those positions, because it does happen pretty quickly. Live Dangerously was taken very steadily down to the start. I think you may have seen that. He's the last one to go into the stalls as well. Live Dangerously will be last for the Viridor Transforming Waste Racing Forward Handicap. Live Dangerously heading into stall number 4. And then the 9 runners will be set fair. That's it, and they're off. Kermit is out well, also out pretty well Loud. Live Dangerously. Next door's being pushed up the rails. That position trying to be held by order of service, who wants to hold that door open as they approach the bend. Kermit next door up the inside rail goes order of service, and the pace is not actually that frantic. Several are taking a keen hold. Trying to negotiate a passage in is Whispered Times as they make the bend. So out in front, order of service did enough to hold down the rail, and the lead now from in second place Next Door. In third on the inside, Live Dangerously of Kermit, and 3 wide into the turn is Whispered Times. In 6th place, just crossing heels there, Joyful Sound in the yellow colours. Then behind these we have Fabled City Loud, and at this stage Michal is a detached back marker as they turn into the straight. Order of Service leads from Next Door, travelling strongly. Live Dangerously just against the rails, will need to get out. Then Whispered Times towards the outside, trying to improve his Joyful Sound. Michal trying to stay on up the rails. Fabled City and Loud being pulled towards the centre of the racecourse. Out in front, Order of Service being pressed by Whispered Times and the cheek pieces and noseband. Loud is making good ground down the centre for Joe Fanning, also trying to stay on his Joyful Sound. Then Fabled City. Order of Service battling on against that far rail. Loud down the centre continues this sweeping challenge in pursuit of the leader. Order of Service, Loud in the red cap on the outside. Order of Service still in front from Loud as they race up towards the line. Order of Service, that early move to hold the rail position, won the race. Order of Service beat Loud tight for third between Whispered Times and Joyful Sound. They were away from Live Dangerously in 5th place.
Well, we talked about Jim Goldie's horse, Order of Service, beforehand, and here he is scoring at 7 to 1 with Gary Bartley on board. A tough maiden no longer. Both his previous wins came in the all-weather at Kempton. Loud in 2nd place, a much better performance by Loud. Whispered Times in a photo for 3rd with Joyful Sound as we pick up the closing stages. Look at Joe Fanning on the right with the red cap. I thought he was getting there to pip Order of Service, but in the end, Gary Bartley's mount holds on.
He has, and he's overcome the worst of the draw, hasn't he? Drawn out in stall 1, a wide, got across to got on the rail, and really that's grabbing that early rail has been the makings of this race. We know how being on the front end at Musselburgh can be advantageous. You can see Gary Bartley from the 1 box has managed to get into a position to just about to hold the rail here, hold his position, and riding his mount into a lead, he's managed to get himself into the position he wanted, and from there he was able to dictate the pace, and it proved a decisive move.
A neck in the end for Order of Service victory, just confirming that Joyful Sound got 3rd and Whispered Times in 4th place. Joyful Sound rather than that yellow jacket, just railing pretty wide there, but travelling strong. It's on the wide outside the yellow jacket with the cheek pieces. Gary Bartley's Order of Service just hugging the rail, and as Ed was saying, taking full advantage of that number 1 draw. Coming there, Whispered Times on the outside. I thought at this stage Joyful Sound was making a winning move, but you can see with the head carriage with those cheek pieces on, not straightforward.
No, absolutely. Once once Paul Pickard's gone for him, he's put his head to one side, and he's been hard work there. Michel, once the runners left the boxes, he didn't, and you knew your fate with him. He missed the break again, and that's becoming something of a problem for him. And at this stage, as you said, Gordon, Loud started to really find his stride down the outside, and you thought here that he was going to pick the leader up and go on and score, but the winner order of service has found